everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost, and today we are taking a look at the Tier 7 American Premium Aircraft Carrier USS Enterprise CV6, baby. She has finally arrived in World of Warships Legends. I have been looking forwards to this ship for a long time, and she's finally here. She is America's pride and joy, at least during the Second World War. She was probably one of the most, if not the most, successful ships to ever be put to sea. She was credited for sinking well over, I don't know, 70-odd ships. She shot down somewhere near 1,000 aircraft. The things that this ship did was nothing short of extraordinary in real life. Her dive bombers, her crews, her everything, man. The ship was amazing, and yeah, it was just the absolute pinnacle of American superiority during World War II. So, what a fantastic ship in real life. But that's enough hokey dokey about real life. How is she in World of Warships Legends? Well, I have played quite a few games in her, and so far, all I have to say is, I'm disappointed. Wargaming seems to have given the Enterprise not much, love. I guess that's the best way of putting it. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about her strengths, her weaknesses, so on and so forth, and what I think about her and if she needs a buff or whatnot. We'll get to that. So hope you all do enjoy, nonetheless. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I want to talk about is her dive bombers. She comes with armor-piercing dive bombers, and she is actually the first ever American ship to get armor-piercing bombs. Actually, she is the first non-German aircraft carrier to get armor-piercing bombs. So this is a big deal. Now, in real life, I keep comparing it to real life, because you guys got to keep in mind, I know not all of you are American fanboys like myself, but, for a little bit of, reference, the dive bombers on the Enterprise, and on most American ships in real life, and in game, really, they were the best in the world. Hands down, the American dive bombers, the Dauntlesses, and the Helldivers, and the bombs, and the crews that they were given, I mean, they were absolutely disgusting. Okay, and in this game, as you guys can see on a lot of these drops, the bombs are extremely mediocre. The armor-piercing bombs only have a maximum damage, on my build anyway, of about 2,700, and that's with like a Citadel hit. 2,700, that's it. That's the maximum damage. Like, that's the best you can do. Come on, man. This is the Enterprise we're talking about. The absolute devastation that this ship was and is in real life, and she's just not that at all in game. Americans are known for their dive bombers. Even the Lexington, the Saipan, especially the Lexington, has amazing HE dive bombers, but for some reason the Enterprise does not possess that. So right off the bat, the bombers are not good. Now, what is good on this ship is the torpedo bombers. The bombers themselves, not great, but the torpedo bombers, now that is where the ship seems to shine. The torpedo bombers, like Saipan, they're great. The only downside, though, is you only get 3 of them. So you only have 3 torpedoes. Again, I don't see any point, in all technicality, in playing the Enterprise over the Lexington. Now, I'm a pretty decent, well-rounded player. Again, I'm not a god or anything. I don't proclaim myself to be a super unicum. Anybody who thinks they're absolutely goat shit at the game, they have a very, very, very big ego and they need to chill the fuck out. But anyway, with that aside, what I'm trying to say is I'm not the greatest player alive. So again, I'm not going to have the greatest games potentially. I make mistakes here and there like 99.9999% of the player base. But what I'm just going to say, though, is despite me, not being the greatest shit going, I still have decent games in this carrier. But nothing crazy. Nothing really sticks out with this carrier. There's actually really no reason for me to play this over the Lexington, the Tech Tree Tier 7 American carrier. So, again, I can have decent games, but I have to try a lot harder, basically, to get those decent games, okay? Is what I'm trying to say. Now, look at that. 1 Citadel, 2 hits for only, what, like 2 or 3K, 4K? Man, it's just like, no. It's not good. The bombers just are a no-no for me. They're not very good, man. Now, you can get some lucky salvos and, like, maybe drop a bunch of bombs and just absolutely cake people. I have done it before, like on German battleships, for example. I have dropped on Bismarcks And I have literally hit them for like 10 citadels and gotten 20k before. But those are very rare moments. I barely ever have those moments happen. You're looking for consistency when you're playing ships in this game. Most people are anyway, I hope. I hope you guys aren't just depending on RNG to save your ass. But yeah, I look for consistency, and the Enterprise just does not have consistency with its dive bombers. They are not dependable. You don't really know what you're getting with the dive bombers. They're very RNG-ish. They're not good. They're very mediocre at best, okay? So that's right off the bat. Now, like I said, the torpedo bombers, they're pretty good. The torpedoes are fine, but they're nothing special either. Like, they're just fine. So overall, I think a good carrier player can make this carrier work. It's still a carrier at the end of the day, so it still can have the potential to do nasty things. Even though it's not a great carrier, it still can do pretty nasty things. Like you guys are seeing, I'm still going around, I'm still torpedoing people to shit and making them, you know, hate their lives, right? But it's nothing super devastating, you know what I mean? So I do think that the bombers need a buff. I think the AP bombs need to get adjusted. I think the AP bombs should have a maximum of 4,000 damage. 2,700 damage for a fucking Citadel hit. Do you guys see how big the bombs are under the fucking wings of these planes? I mean, look how giant those goddamn bombs are. You're telling me those 500,000 pound bombs, or the 502 anyway, 500 or 1,000 pound bombs, you're telling me those are just doing 2k damage? No. Do you guys know what the fucking Enterprise did to the Kaga and other aircraft carriers? The shit that these planes were capable of doing in real life, it was just nothing short of amazing. And yet in-game, they can't accomplish shit. It would be so much better if this ship had HE dive bombers at that point. What's the point? Like, I'd rather just be able to get fires, man. The bombs are just too inconsistent for me. 2k damage here and there, 4k if I'm lucky, maybe more than that if I'm really lucky. It's just not worth it. So, yeah, I do think the bombers need a buff, overall. Now, what's some other things about this ship? Well, the artillery, you do have some secondaries, and they do count as our AA as well. So we're going to talk about the AA. The AA is pretty decent, actually. Now, the AA rating right now on my build is only 83, but don't let that fool you. The AA is actually really good. The Enterprise is absolutely caked in 20mm Oerlikons, which are the short-range anti-aircraft armaments that's on this ship. So you got a lot of those. 50. You got 50 single-mounted 20mm Oerlikons. You've got a bunch of 40mm Bofors that are the medium-range anti-aircraft, and you have quite a bit of those. An average of 200 damage. So your 20 mils, it has an average of 200 damage. Your 40 mils has an average of 200 damage, and your secondaries, your longer-range anti-aircraft guns that produce flat clouds, they have an average damage of about 77 with a 5.4 kilometer range. So, yeah, overall, the AA is pretty damn freaking spicy on the Enterprise. You definitely don't want to be attacking an Enterprise because the AA is pretty good, despite the AA rating only being 83 and, you know, it having, like, damn near 500 average damage per second on the AA. So, overall, the AA is pretty decent. It's not, like, fucking absolutely cracked, but it's pretty damn good. You will lose your squadrons if you decide to attack an Enterprise, that's for sure. Speaking of losing squadrons, the Enterprise, her plane restoration time is interesting. It's actually pretty damn good. The plane restoration time is 29 seconds and 27 seconds. So the 29 seconds is for the dive bombers, and the torpedo bombers is about 27 seconds. So, and that's just one plane. So you're going to be getting one plane back every basically 30 seconds if you round it up. So not bad. Unlike the other carriers, you get like 3 or 4 planes back when you wait a little bit longer. With the Enterprise, you're constantly going to be able to constantly keep getting planes brought back. So overall, the plane restoration time is okay. It's pretty decent, but you got to be careful. You can get deplaned in the Enterprise. I've had it happen plenty of times, okay? So overall, that's pretty good there. The plane restoration is just fine. As long as you're managing your squadrons right and you're not being willy-nilly with them and sending them into frickin' giant blobs of AA, you should be okay. Now, the maneuverability for the carrier itself, 32.5 knot maximum speed. Again, that's historically accurate. These ships were all designed to go around 32 knots. Every single ship in the United States Navy was actually supposed to go around that speed, 32.5 knots. The Iowas, our battleships, the carriers, our destroyers, our cruisers, could all go that speed. So, again, historically accurate. It makes sense. The turning circle radius, obviously it's a carrier, so it's absolutely abysmal. 1,000 plus turning circle, so yeah. And the concealment is pretty good on my build, 10.9 kilometers. So overall, the stats themselves for the carrier is fine. And you do have an armored flight deck as well. It's not like the best flight deck armor in the world. It's only like, let me see here. I believe it is only, yeah, 25 millimeters. So you only have 25 millimeters of armor. And then below that, you have a little bit of 38 millimeters, but that's like on the side. So really, you don't have much deck armor. In fact, it seems like that deck armor does nothing but armor-piercing shells, or bombs, so yeah. But overall, it seems like the Enterprise is just one of those carriers that is just not going to be great, at least for the time being. It's okay at dropping on cruisers. You can get some Citadels here and there, but again, the Citadels do such low damage. It's just like, it'd be so much better to have high explosive bombs so you can at least get those fires. There's so many times where I wish I could have came back around and got a fire or two. Also, I'm attacking somebody in the game on my team because he's in my clan, SCS. I think it's Razgriz. GG's, by the way, Razgriz. I know you were in this game. You're probably watching. Yeah. Like I said, though, it'd be so much nicer if the Enterprise had high explosive bombs. If literally they gave the Enterprise the same high explosive bombs, but better than the Lexington's bombs, I think it'd be good. Because you got to remember, the Enterprise was the class right after the the Lexington class. So the dive bombers should be better. Like, I don't know. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I think the Enterprise is just okay. It's like one of the most mediocre carriers in the entire game. Like, don't get it twisted, though. You can still have good games in it, but it just doesn't stick out compared to other Tier 7 carriers. Historically speaking, it's a fucking awesome ship, what she did in real life. But in-game, she's not that special. Here's the commander build if you guys are interested. Feel free to pause it if you guys want to. Also, I can get him level 16-4. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. Boom, bada, bing. But, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. Seriously, though, happy 4th of July, by the way. And like I was saying, look up the history of this ship. Even if you're not an American, it's still really cool to look up the history. This ship was everywhere. That's why she was called the Grey Ghost. The Japanese thought they sank her. They never did. It's funny. But, yeah, anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.